Huge pile of green. What huge pile of green? So that was this morning's work, was to get that all cut up and bagged and taken round the front. So that's now clear. Now Hannah's down this weekend. The plan for this weekend is work, but not huge amounts. Now we have to coordinate because we've only got one pair of gloves. Now Laurel isn't prickly, so, and I also don't know what the bush is behind the laurel. So I'm going to let that open up the leaves in the spring to see what it is. So the plan with this laurel is the same as this one. Just going to take the front off, and then, as I said before, these two are hopefully going to join together and form a hedge, nice sort of green hedge along here, which I can then keep the top trimmed and the front trimmed with the hedge trimmer. So, you know, no ladders, no mucking about. Now the long straggly Forsythia? Wisteria, not even close. My long trimmer will be able to trim those long straggly bits off, and so that's that done. I've asked several people now, although I read on the internet that you should never cut bamboo, you should only trim it at the base. I've read far many other places where it says if you want to cut your bamboo bush in half, you can, it will sprout out. So we're going to take the bamboo down probably about 1 metre and bring the height down, which then makes it more manageable. And I'm hoping my hedge trimmer will do that, you know, the new long-handled hedge trimmer, and just hack into it and let it all fall down. That's the theory. We are also hopefully going to tidy the shed. I've got shelves there, so the idea is to get everything up off the floor in the shed onto the shelves and make that reasonably tidy, because that will also remove stuff from here. You know, even the little tables for now can go in the shed. And then it's sweep up time. This stuff over here, prickly stuff, there's a new shed there, you can just see it sticking up. And yesterday the guy was standing on the roof putting the roofing felt on, so I went up on the decking and said, "Excuse me," hello. And it turned out to be the owner, so not the tenants of the two flats, the actual owner of the property. And I had quite a long chat with him about disposing of this, and he said, quite honestly, the shed roof is really solid. If you really wanted to, you could stand on the shed roof and hack that down. And I said, well, I've got long-handled tools, I've got the ability to do it, and so we may have a go at that this weekend. To cut this lot down because of its height, I need to stand on steps, really. To stand on steps, I need Hannah on the bottom of the steps. So if time permits, what I'm hoping to do is we'll hack that lot down onto the ground and leave it there. That can be for me to clear up as and when. You know, a bit of pruning and a bit of bagging as we go along. And then as far as this area is concerned, and the decking, it's sweep up time. There's no more leaves to come down. So we can now sweep up and get things tidy. And all the paths, sweep up time. Yeah, sweep all the gravel off the paving. Sweep all these leaves up into the hedge so that just the gravel looks nice and tidy. And then coming round here, again, just sweeping into a pile. Put my ladder away, it's been there ages. And then coming round here, this pile here, I've got the RO unit on at the moment, that's on the go as well. It's the first mild day we've had to be able to get that out. I'm just going to plod away at this with the handsaw, you know, my vicious handsaw, and cut it down into sort of 1 foot lengths and put it in bags so that it can just be bagged up and go in the car. That's the theory. Now that's got prickly bits in, so I need the gloves to do that. So I think the initial plan will be to cut the laurel down with the handsaw, because I've only got the one, and then Hannah can be snipping those bits up and putting them in the bags while I'm hacking away at this. And then between the two of us we can start sweeping up and, you know, clearing up the decking, getting all the leaves up into a pile. The idea with the leaves is we will probably just throw them up there and they can rot down in there. So we've got snowdrops. Ooh, buried. Oh, there's some more over here as well. I don't remember seeing them last year. Mind you, they might have been buried. And then the only thing left to trim over here is this. Now this had the flowers on in late autumn, so it was left. And it obviously blooms in late autumn on the current growth. So this can have a hack with the shears prior to sweeping up, obviously. And then all the little bits can just be dragged out onto the floor and swept up with the rest of the stuff. And that's the only thing left to prune over here. This bush here, if I can find some rope somewhere, I want to tie that to that stump and pull it right back, because it's hanging out, and it would look much nicer if it was upright as well, and it you know, it would make this space feel a little bit better as well, because it's obviously grown out to the light when this lot was all too high and too stuff. So some bits and pieces to do, but the goal is that at the end of this weekend it looks tidy, so that if nothing else gets done, it'll do. And that includes that tall stuff. If that high prickly stuff gets left as it is for now, I can quite happily say we've done all this and there's this bit left to do. That, you know, that will have to be good enough if necessary. But to get all this cleared away and get it all swept up, get the moss off, and if I get chance, I may well get the broom up onto that roof and sweep all that moss down into the gutter, and then hook it out of the gutter onto the ground, and it can be cleared up with the rest of the stuff. May or may not get done. That might get done as a separate thing. There's only so much we can do this weekend, and what we can do is hope that it stays dry, because we won't be coming out here doing that sort of thing in the rain. So let's just hope it stays dry, and yeah, getting there. Be surprised what a difference it makes, just picking up all that green and all those, you know, I mean, there's some pretty thick stuff here that got cut off that laurel, you know. So anyway, I need to get the containers out and start emptying the Vander bucket, as it was once called, not anymore. And yeah, I'm quite pleased with that, because that is not a huge amount of effort, but shows a lot. And with the, you know, a bit of a sweep up to get those leaves off of the gravel so that the gravel looks nice, I will probably have to get a gravel rake so that I can rake it all over smooth, you know, but that's not for now. I've still got these two beds to weed, but there's no point in trying to kill weeds off at this time of year, because they won't, and there'll be seeds all over the place to germinate. These two beds I've already done, they're not too bad. There will be a few weeds come up in the spring, no doubt. They can just be cut off with the hoe. They die back. So there we go. We're getting there. Getting there. And now it's got milder, providing it stays mild. Once we've cleared up this weekend, all of the bags out the front can go to the tip. And with the mild weather, I can get on and coat up the second one of these and get that put together so that I can spread the bonsai out. Getting there. I got quite puffed out doing all that cutting, I must admit, and I know what's going to happen now. When I get up tomorrow morning, my hand won't work. My right hand will be just seized solid, because it's just the amount of cutting. You know, it's a repetitive action using secateurs, and you always try and cut things that are a little bit too thick. Anyway, some more done. Getting there.